Good evening. I hope I find you well. Lovely day today it was. So we start off in the usual way, a bit later because I was out visiting here, there, and yonder. So still in Palmerstown, but it was a long day in many ways. And we start off in the usual way with our hymns. O Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the works thy hands had made, I see the stars, I hear the mighty thunder, thy power throughout the universe displayed. Then sings my soul, my Saviour God, to thee, how great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Saviour God, to thee, how great thou art, how great thou art. When Christ shall come with shouts of acclamation and take me home, what joy shall fill my heart? Then shall I bow in humble adoration and there proclaim, my God, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Saviour God, to thee, how great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Saviour God, to thee, how great thou art, how great thou art. And it's lovely, isn't it? Now, we'll sing this one for our Blessed Mother. As I kneel before you, as I bow my head in prayer, take this day, make it yours, and fill me with your love. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu. All I have I give you, every dream and wish are yours. Mother of Christ, Mother of mine, present them to my Lord. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu. As I kneel before you, and I see your smiling face, every thought, every word is lost in your embrace. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu. Hope you like that. I like it. I like it. It's nice. Covers a bit, doesn't it? With our Blessed Mother. And Mary conceived without sin. Is that right? Now, so let's talk. And I'm going to talk about cards. When you often went to a race meeting, you'd often see a lad, the 3 card trick man, and he'd be showing you what it is, and if say you pick it, you'd win. You had to put down, say, a pound, and or the equivalent, or a euro, and if you won, if you picked the right card, you might get €5. Not a fortune, but a bit of sport. And so you'd do whatever you do, and then you'd pick that card, and it was the wrong card, so that was a euro. It's very hard to get the right card, and and then of course when myself and my late wife used to go for, she used to come with me when I was on business, which I was working for myself, in the pet food area. So she came for, and she was a great help. Indeed, she did promotions for me as well when I was in some of the places that I was in. I could offer an extra 10p off the price of the tins and that kind of thing. So she did good there. She used to sell about 14 cases for the couple of days, Thursday and Friday, that she was doing it. She was first class. So cards, and we used to play a game of cards. I used to go to some hotels where they had 25 card drives, and it was very funny. If you won a game, then you went to the next table, and so on and so forth. But yesterday, with my good friend Eamon, and we went for a game of cards up to the GAA club. And on the way, he picked up two ladies, retired ladies and widows and good age. And one of them has to be helped. She has a stick and, a walking stick. She'd be slow. So she sits in the front. I was sitting in the back. And then that's Caroline, and she's from Cork. But she's well able to talk, and she's a good card player. And then another one called Lily. And she sat in the back where I was sitting. And I know them, and we had a bit of a chat, and we were going up to the GA club, where you get tea and biscuits and those in packets, little chocolates, rolls, or whatever you call them. And there was a grand mixture of food, and €5 for the tea or coffee, as the case might be, whatever it is that you want. I like tea. And I was quite cold yesterday, and I mentioned as I was going, because I kind of noticed with them, is there no central heat? And I'm frizz. And so a bit of laughter and all the rest of it. So there was other ones at the big table that wouldn't be playing the cards, but they're into other things, not necessarily the J Cup. For example, in the community centre, which is attached to the Catholic Church, they play bowls, not during July and August. It starts in September and be starting next week. And it's usually on 2 days, I think. I don't know whether it's Monday and Thursday or something like that. And it's good fun, and there's retired people, and they put out a board and that, and then you go down and you try to hit something. And there's a barrier in the front now, and I've been at it, and I've been looking to get any kind of a point or whatever you like to call it. And but they're good fun and good sports, and some of them are quite good. But anyways, there was a great chat in Mabuya, and Caroline, who's sniffing the pins, and Lil, and I was beside them, and my friend Eamon was there, and somebody else. Somebody come there, there wasn't too much to say. They could have a touch of Asperger's, or whatever you call it. It means that some of the people suffer from that don't be interested in anything, really, God help them. But where I was, there was no problem with that. And the Caroline one was talking about, when she was young, about graveyards, that they used to go in and swing around something in the graveyard, but it wouldn't be at night time, of course, it'd be during the day. And I said, well, funny enough, I'd be afraid of my life going past graveyard, especially at night time on the bicycle, because first of all, you'd hear some woo, it would be a dog howling, but it sounded like that in the moonlight night. You wouldn't know what you'd see. So it'd be hard to be jumping, and I'd be going, going on. And there might be a few others, but we'd be all, shall we say, shivering. And stories like that. So anyway, when all the bantam was over and that, there was five of us to play cards, and we play 45. And God, I wasn't getting nothing at all. And Caroline, which is beside me, she won 3 games, and it was €1 a time, which is not a fortune. And it's 45, so each trick that you get is 5. And I got nothing practically most of the time. There was one time I had 4 aces, but then when the deal was somebody had only 4 cards, so they were no use to me. But the lad that had the 4 cards had a jack and a 5, so I would have been only able to get three tricks, and maybe only 2, because somebody else might have something, a few cards anyway. But the funny thing is, in the last game of cards, and it was good rule about you, the last game of cards, I got, we say 8, and that's you've only to win one more, and you've won the pot. That's the 45. So I had 40, and then next thing is two others had 40. So this was the last game, and the cards were dealt, and diamonds were trumps. And the first card I looked at, guess what it was? The 5 of diamonds, which is the top. So I put it out. So I won the last pot. So that's the way it was. And there's a park near where the J Club is, and not a football park where people can walk. So it's very handy. And the people that were there are all mature and practicing Catholics, most of them very good. And so there's good banter and good fun, and they come from very respectable families. For example, Lil's daughter is a surgeon, a very important surgeon in Wolverhampton in England, and she's a specialist in regard to people that have injuries as regards in their face, cancer, and to be able to deal with it. She's a real vocation. And she's not married, she's about 50, she was telling me, and she comes home every 4 weeks because she gets a week off every 4 weeks. She's very high up in that particular hospital there. And I said, well, I suppose she's doing good work and it's a vocation with her. And then I think another daughter is a very successful barrister. So, they're very good. And Caroline's husband, as a matter of fact, her father was a guard, but it would have been in the RIC, as because I knew my father was a guard. So, and she married a lad that was a guard, but he wound up a chief superintendent. And her family did very well. One of them is the head of the GAA in Dublin or something, and some great jobs. So and Caroline was from Cork, and well, I worked in Cork for a period, and so I said, well, we in Bandon or somewhere. No, she says, Fermoy, just outside it, and a bus from Dublin used to come twice a day, so at 9 o'clock, and they were able to go into Cork, and that, and then come home, and so there were stories. So when you're playing a game of cards, you're not just that there's stories to be had, especially when you're having a cup of tea. So, it's the kind of company, isn't it? The people of that caliber were brought up in a very good Catholic faith. Churches was packed, comparison. So, and to have that, and to have the joy, that's something that, depending on who you are and what age you are, and so on and so forth, associate with people of that caliber. And so it was very enjoyable. So my friend Damon lives in Palmerstown, and this was, say, he drove up and he was able to pick up. As a matter of fact, he couldn't find which Caroline was under, and he was actually being near the house. And I said, I thought you might live in there. Now, I'm not that familiar, but looking at the sort of situation, it was one car in it. But he went and picked up Lily, and Lily, we knew where she was, and then she knew where Caroline was. So it was a house that, funny enough, I thought that she might be in. And Eamon went up and rang the bell or knocked on the door, whatever way. And the son come out, a lad that's able to work from home. The way these now can work from home and laptops or computers. But probably goes in because a lot of companies now want them to go in and offering them little treats. But Carolyn come out with a stick and she sits in the front, helped in. And but full of talk, nothing wrong with that end of it, But as a fella, when you march up the tree of life, you often slow down, don't you? But I was on the go all day. Say no more. So I could talk now for a wet week about episodes there, and then later on. But we'll be talking tomorrow, and I'll do the prayer for our blessed mother after this. Bye now.